Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Greetings, subscribers, followers, one-time visitors, people who are just looking for more ideas from Marneus Calgar because Marneus Calgar is the ever popular commander from Warhammer 40K. And I can tell you by my analytics, you guys love this commander. So I am going to ride the wave and continue to help brew with you. And I got a video after this one coming up just for Marneus Calgar. So make sure you watch this video and the next video at the end. Because we got to continue to brew. As long as they're making more cards, we got to continue to brew with Marneus Calgar. But anyway, let's begin with our favorite commander. But I got to introduce myself. I am Commander Claw. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's somewhere on the bottom right hand of your screen that says subscribe. Do yourself a favor and do it. Hit like, comment, whatever. You know what to do. Keep yourself engaged with the comments. Let's go on to Marneus Calgar. If you know what he does, go ahead and move to the next part of the video where it says defense tactics. But I'm going to review him. All right, Marneus Calgar is a 2 generic mana and Esper color commander. Excuse me. He is a Astartes warrior, 3/5 power and toughness. He has double strike. He has the ability Master Tactician. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Then he has the second ability, Chapter Master. Tap 6 mana, create 2/2 white Astartes warrior creature tokens with vigilance. Yes, he is an engine himself. He's so popular and so good. Pretty much anything that you do, you're going to get a payoff for it. So if you play some kind of spell or have some kind of ability that makes a token, you're drawing a card. And who doesn't love drawing cards? I don't know who does not. And that's how you lose games, by not drawing enough cards. No need to complain about what you're not doing with Marneus Calgar. Let's move on to the players that are looking for something extra to add to their deck, right? Something to make players, their opponents, just slow down a little bit, right? Sometimes all you need is that one card. And let's move on to defense tactics. Yes, defense tactics. What do I mean by defense tactics? These are abilities, actions, spells that are going to make your opponents just hold on cards into their hand. And if they decide to use the card, that means they burn a card. And that means you could be possibly taking advantage of the situation or the entire game. So let's move on. First card we have is Cloud Cover, recommended by a subscriber on our channel. Appreciate it, big dog. It says, actually, it's an enchantment. 2 colors, white and a blue. It says, whenever another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, you may return that permanent to its owner's hand. So, why is this good? This is good because anything that might be exiled, destroyed from a targeted spell or ability goes back into your hand and you get to replay the card. So if it is your commander, such as Marneus Calgar, it goes back into, you can have the option to put them back into your hand and cast them from your hand instead of paying that nasty commander tax that adds up, right? You don't want to pay that commander tax. Nobody wants to pay that commander tax. Ugh. But I really like this card because it goes for any permanent that you have. Let's say you have a Ristic Study on the battlefield, and you know how often that gets blown up. Somebody's using a Beast Within just so you can get the draw card trigger. What's another permanent that you're trying to protect? Maybe your new God Commander from Lost Caverns, Ojer Tak, Deepest Foundation. I love that card. Where you make triple the tokens. Oh my God, that card is nasty. Anyway, that's not what this card is about. Cloud Cover is the card that you really should add into your deck. It's that one spell when you're trying to play at a tempo or get yourself back into the game or just push a different pace. This is what this card's for. It is a tempo card and a defensive card. I promise you, it will stop opponents from blowing up your stuff. They'll think twice. And if they decide to use it, they're using at least 2 combinations of a spell or an ability to do it. That is an advantage for you. And that's what you should look at when you're using blue and esper colors to like gain a pace, gain a tempo in decks. Um, Esper is a really powerful color. I really like it because not only is it control, it's also like it has a kill factor to it. The black elements to it just give it death. So players can't possibly just lose the game outright, almost like burn spells, because you have Insanguinate and Torment of Hailfire. Moving on. Next up, what we have is Cowardice. It is an enchantment for 3 mana and 2 blue. Whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, return that creature to its owner's hand. It is almost just like Cloud Cover, but I would say it's just a little bit worse because actually, no, it's not even worse. It depends what you want to use it for. So let's talk about the good about this card. The good about this card is it says whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability. That means your creatures and your opponents. So that can get you back into the game if you're able to target your opponent's creatures. Now keep in mind your opponents can target your opponent's creatures also. So it's a free for all out there. That's the good thing about Cowardice. And it's almost it's a pseudo board wipe, honestly. You know how many spells and abilities are out there that target creature, and you need to get rid of a powerful creature? Bam. And this is at instant speed. Instant speed. You can do it on another player's turn. Don't hold back. Don't hold back on playing this card. Not at all. Um, let me move on to the second slide for this. Yeah, since it's at instant speed, you have abilities that are on enchantments and creatures, and you can activate them on other players' turns. And preferably, you might want to target that creature before your turn starts. Now, just be wary if you do target a creature, if it has an ETB trigger, your opponent is looking to cast it again. Now, there are bounce effect decks, blink decks out there that would love this card in their deck, honestly. But, if you're not running that way, piloting your deck that way, this still is a good card to use. All right. Here is don't underestimate. So, remember when I mentioned the kill factor with black? Well, I actually have Azorius colors that can trigger these abilities. This like lethal damage if used correctly. And I really think this is a really good card that it doesn't gain a lot of attention until the right time. Like it's gonna hit the board, it's gonna stay on the board. Nobody's gonna really look at it. But when you use it with the right cards, oh yeah, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. The card is knowledge is power. It's an enchantment for 5 mana, 3 colors, white and a blue. Creatures you control get plus X, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn. Wow. Yeah, that's hot. You know why that's hot? Because you're in blue and black, and you can generally draw cards on any player's turn. You just need the right spell or an ability to do that. Um, so now let's think about combat phase. If a player's coming at you, you can play defensive and draw a card some way, somehow, whatever spell or ability that you got going on. If you're attacking, hell, you can boost your creature at the last moment during combat phase and swing for lethal. Let's do this. It says creatures get plus X plus X. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. I really like the flavor text because after this, I'm going to show you cards that can work with it that you probably thought of instantly or you just might need a refresher. But anyway, it says tremble, criminal, before the overwhelming might of meticulously organized evidence. What? That just says knowledge is power. And the more cards you draw, seems like you have more knowledge, right? And power. That's why I love this card. This flavor text of this card is just tingles my sensations. Moving on to cards that can work with it. Oh yeah, Ristic Study had to be in there because whenever an opponent casts a spell, you get to draw a card unless they pay 1. So you can automatically boost the power of your creatures. And don't forget, since you have Marneus Calgar, you have those Warrior creature tokens out on the battlefield too. So they go from 2/2 with vigilance to maybe 3/3 with vigilance on another player's turn, 4/4 with vigilance another player's turn, and they can survive those board wipes that say -3, -3 because you drew a card. Come on, man. Come on, man. What we doing out here? What we doing out here? Let's add some spice to your deck. Okay. Next card we got is Blue Sun Zenith. Why I like this card? Because it's an instant speed card. It says target player draws X cards. Shuffle Blue Sun Zenith into this owner's library. Yeah, I know. 3 blue is pretty tough. But you can use this for a lethal damage buff. You just need to tap as much mana as you need. I mean, let's be honest, man. You have 3 creatures that are 2/2, and you give it +7/+7. What, 9 times 3? That's 27 damage if they swing through, man. Well, what we talking about? What we talking about? You got cards in the deck that draw cards. Put them in there, man. Put this knowledge of powers in this deck, man. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. So you want more instant speed cards? On your left-hand side, we have Tolarian Winds. Sorry for my face being in the way, but it says discard your hand and draw that many cards. So if you have a hand of 7 cards and you discard it, you just draw 7 cards. Your creatures get +7/+7 at instant speed. Bam! Okay, and guess what? This card only costs 2 mana, a blue and a generic. That don't even that what payoff's huge, but you really got to like brainstorm here in this situation. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from the hand on top of your library in any order. For 1 mana, you drew 3 cards. Your creatures get +3/+3 at instant speed, and you get to exchange cards. You get to manipulate your library at instant speed. What? What? Come on, man. If you're going wild with Marneus Calgar, this is a great card. Knowledge is Power is a great card. It is it buffs your creatures. There's not many other enchantments that do that at well, that's not true. Cathar's Crusade, yeah, that makes the creatures big, but it don't give it the surprise effect. This gives the surprise effect. You know what I mean? Moving on. Okay, we got another enchantment. Feast of the Victorious Dead. A white and a black enchantment that says at the beginning of your end step, if one or more creatures die this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. So you have black in your deck, right? And you're gonna lose creatures anyway. So why not buff them? Yeah, you plan on attacking with your creatures. Just make them stronger. I get it. Cathar's Crusade probably has a better rate, right? But this is low to the ground with a high ceiling, man. High ceiling, and you gain life. What? That gives you gain life trigger abilities. There's nothing wrong with that. You can take advantage of this card. It's low end. Slap it down on the battlefield early. Players are not gonna blow this up. They're not even looking at this. They don't even say threat. Sometimes when you're playing with your pod, you got to put new cards in that are inconspicuous. Inconspicuous. They don't make everybody panic. Rhystic Study makes everybody panic. Cathar's Crusade make everybody panic. And so that those cards get wiped generally. Now, moving on. This is my favorite card. I said we're playing defense, right? Let's be a hater. Who's ready to be a hater? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's right. You're ready to be a hater with Command and Claw. I have this cool card here. It is going to be called Aegis of Honor for 1 white mana. It's an enchantment from one of my favorite sets from back in the day. I started in this set, man. Odyssey. Ooh, I didn't know what I was getting into. These cards, man. You old school players know what I'm talking about. When you start matching and you just reflect on it, it's just memories. Anyway, tap 1 mana. The next time an instant or sorcery spell would deal damage to you this turn, that spell deals that damage to its controller instead. I want you to think about that. Now, it says tap 1 has unlimited tapping unlimited abilities. It just how much mana you need, right? So, what do you think is going to stop? 5, 4, 3, 2, One, those crazy game-ending burn spells. It stops it. It stops it. Those players will be holding on to that card even longer, trying to wait the right time to use it. And then that's not to say that you don't have a counterspell in your deck already. So not only are your opponents worried about counterspells, you throw this on the battlefield, players are like, I gotta figure out a way to get out of this, or I'm taking that much damage. Nobody wants to die to their own crackle with power. This is almost like a redirect. You know what redirect does? It changes the target of a spell or ability. Except for this is an enchantment, and you tap it once to put this ability on the stack. When they cast it, oh man, their heart is going to be broken. I mean, granted, this enchantment is already on the battlefield. They should have seen this and read it, right? But you put that ability on the stack, they got to cast another spell. Hopefully, it's at instant speed. Otherwise, they can't respond. And most burn spells are sorceries. Come on, man. What we doing out here, man? Y'all need to dig in them crates, dig in them bolt boxes. They got great cards in there that can win you the game. And I'm here to bring those cards to you. Look what it stops. It stops Jaius emulating Inferno. Whenever a player has a legendary creature or whatever, Jaius emulated Inferno deals X damage, right? To 3 targets. You get to change those targets to the controller, and they take that much damage. Trust me, they're not looking to put all of that mana into this X spell to kill you. They're not. They're not. They're gonna hold back. Crackle with power. Look at that. How many players have died to Crackle with power? Yeah, a lot, a lot, a lot. This is a crazy sorcery. Yeah, all that damage that would be dealt to you goes back to the controller. So no more 15, no more 20, no more 25, whatever crazy number that Crackle with power players have put into the spell, it goes right back to their face for death. That is a win. Thank you. I am Commander Claw. Please come back and visit. Um, Peace out, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Stay in touch with the next video.